The closure of the Independent Living Fund, ILF, in conversation with Mat Fraser and John Kelly.
Hi there, everybody. My name is Mat Fraser. I'm a disabled actor. Been working with Graeae Theatre Company, Europe's leading theatre company for disabled people, since around 1994. And now I'm one of their patrons and very proud to be so. And I've got John Kelly with me in conversation. John's a regular performer with Graeae. He famously narrated the Threepenny Opera. He was our star singer in Reasons to be Cheerful. And he's a total dude and man about town at the moment. In some part, I think it's fair to say, John, isn't it? Because of the Independent Living Fund.
Absolutely.
So I think firstly, what would be good is if you were able to just give us a quick description of what the Independent Living Fund is for people that don't know.
The Independent Living Fund is a pot of money that the government identified to support the most severely disabled people with their independent living support. So it was set up in the late 80s, 1988, and it was a unique way, in a way, of supporting disabled people, because social care, being what it is, didn't meet all the needs that disabled people have, and particularly those with the highest needs. And I started my Independent Living Fund in 1995, so kind of, and that was as a result of my local authority saying, look, we can give you this amount of money, which is to meet your essential needs, but it won't meet your needs in terms of a better quality of life. So the ILF really is about choice and control and quality of independent living. It's not about care.
Once you let a disabled person independently control the money that helps them do their job professionally, they become simultaneously more productive, less of a, it's costing less money basically, because the money's better spent in the first place, because they're the expert in knowing how to spend the money. And I just think it's incredible that something that was absolutely acknowledged by all the Western governments as being a sensible and proactive, forward-thinking thing is now being taken away.
So what the government have said is that the money is being transferred. We're not closing the ILF. All this is a transfer of power. So that's really, really important to remember that. This isn't about closure, this is about transfer. And so we already know local authorities can't manage it, and we know that after 2016 there is no transfer budget. So what will happen then?
Cash-strapped councils are going to have to start making really hard, stark decisions like, what do I do? Do I let the old people have some heating, or do I let this electric wheelchair user do their job properly? And to make local government make that kind of decision is so inhumane, it just takes my breath away, because we've proved time and time again that if you give disabled people agency and control over their own fiscal situation, everybody saves money.
For me, that's about having choice and control over some very, very basic things in my life, in order that I can get out there and get on stage and do what Graeae want me to do best, which is to sing or to act or whatever. And without those tools around me, my performance is going to be pretty rubbish. Because I won't be ready.
You won't be allowed to be the professional that you are.
Do you know what's really interesting, Matt? When I was doing Threepenny Opera, which is, it's a political piece.
Well, hold on a sec, John. I saw it. Well, and a very proud patron of Graeae I was that night when I watched you, Gary Robson, and all the others storm the Leeds Playhouse, and it was a monumental piece. How much of that was made possible by the Independent Living Fund, do you think, John? And what would it have been like if there had been no Independent Living Fund?
Well, the journey of Threepenny Opera was just amazing, because first of all, it was just like Graeae were, it was a mishmash of people from different parts of the country, all proper pro, brilliant, talented people, probably with the exception of myself, but, what I'm saying here is they're all really good, top actors and actresses, and and a mishmash of disabled and non-disabled people working together. Then we get to tour, and we're going all over the country, and on, I think it was something like the 6th or the 8th of March, and I'll never forget it, Matt, I was in my dressing room in the interval, and I get the text, to say the government have announced we are going to reclose the ILF. We've now considered the impact of it, and we're still going ahead and closing it.
That's actually made me quite emotional, John, because I'm just trying to imagine if that was me in the theatre, in the dressing room, in the interval.
So we all went on, literally within 5 minutes of it being announced, on stage, and broke the news that the ILF was going to be closed. You know, the placard was painted, "Save the ILF." And we were on stage, and that's how quickly and amazingly Graeae can respond. Most of the audience probably didn't know about it until that placard went on, and then we started asking questions. And the company saying, what can we do about it? How can we respond? And then it gained momentum. It was like a rolling ball, and Threepney just got stronger and stronger, not just about ILF, but everything that we felt passionately about being together as a company.
But it's a good example of how we're all in this together, because it's not just the disabled people, the 17,500 people who have been using the ILF. It's, you know, for every one disabled person that is using this independent living funding, there are, you know, with the old 7 degrees of separation in the world, a good, 100 other people involved in that person's life. And it involves all of us at a societal level. It really does. It's like saying, oh, people over 75 can't have any money to live. You know what Gandhi used to say, and other luminaries have always said, you can tell what a civilization's like by the way they treat their poor, their animals, they're sick, they're disabled, and they're old. And right now, Britain ain't doing too good. So it is up to us, the community, the society at large, to come together and try and improve it.
I believe in a beautiful world where, you know, we can have fun and we can have enjoyment, and you know, we can get on together, we can have peace, we can have all those kind of idealistic kinds of things, and you know, we can earn money, and people can earn a bit of money and be rich or whatever, but actually it's about power and control. It's about what we choose to do with it that matters. You know, going back to what the ILF is about, the fight now, for me, is about a change. It's the continuation of a change in society that sees independent living is really, really important. It's not about, like I say, getting your socks on and that. Of course, that's all fundamentally important. You know, without that, it's basic. But the nuances and subtlety of the ILF is that it gives you choice, control, and quality of life.
As a patron of Graeae, I feel proud of you, proud of Graeae, and I count myself amongst a number of people, along with what we know of as the rest of society and our community at large, our allies and friends and all the disabled people and non-disabled people that are part of our community, are all against this and are all going to fight it in whichever way we can. And
the ILF closes on the 30th of June, which I think will be the day the video is launched. The next day will be a new chapter. It won't be the end, it will be the start of the next bit of the fight to create new theatre, to create amazing theatre, to continue the battle for equality and rights, and to the recognition, really. There's petitions that can be signed, and there'll be links on the website. Please go to Graeae's website, www.graeae.org, and come and support Graeae by coming to see a show. That's the easiest way that people can get involved, is just come and see a good bit of theatre for a night. And that's really simple, because it's quite a nice thing to do.
www.graeae.org. Twitter @Graeae.